Hi, good evening. I'm Fami Berry. Welcome to another conversation with me. Today, I'm here to talk about Zika virus. Zika virus is an illness caused by the Zika virus. It's spread through the bite of an Aedes mosquito, the same type of mosquito that causes yellow fever. You may feel like a mild malaria flu, and it can be dangerous in pregnant women and can cause birth defects in pregnant women. Brief history. So it was first identified in Uganda in 1947 in the Zika Forest. It remained unknown until major outbreaks in Brazil in 2015, in Micronesia in 2007, and in parts of Africa, Asia, and even in America. The Brazil outbreak became very well known because of the birth defects that was caused when it affected pregnant women. So that was what linked it. It was linked to babies born with microcephaly, which is abnormally small head in babies, which is microcephaly. So that was when it was noted down in Brazil. Signs and symptoms. It causes mild fever, skin rash, joint pain, swollen lymph node, conjunctivitis, that's red eye, headaches, muscle pains, fatigue. Under diagnosis, we talk about lab tests. We talk about reverse transcriptase PCRs. We talk about Zika IgM, IgG. Those are antibody tests. We also talk about plaque reduction neutralization tests. Other things to look out for. You should note that people that have had recent travel to endemic areas have high risk of having contracted Zika virus. Also, mosquito exposure history can also cause this. Things to also look out for are symptoms listed above, like the symptoms listed above, the fatigue, the joint pains, and all of that, especially in pregnant women. Under clinical presentation, we talk about tender lymph nodes, we talk about macropapillary rash, we talk about low-grade fever, we talk about conjunctivitis, we talk about swollen joints. Under differential diagnosis, these are ailments that mimic Zika virus. We talk about malaria due to the high fever in malaria, which is also similar to the high fever in Zika virus. Also, measles and rubella. So the rashes are quite similar, and the respiratory symptoms. Under etiology, we talk about the cause. It's caused by the flavivirus. That's the virus that causes Zika virus, the flavivirus, and it's transmitted via mosquito bites. That's the major transmission route. But then there are multiple transmission modes after a person has contracted Zika virus. For example, mosquito bites, which is the primary means of transmission. But then from mother to child during pregnancy. We also talk about sexual transmission, yes. And we also talk about blood transfusion. But in blood transfusion, it is very rare. Under risk factors, we talk about living in or traveling to endemic areas. We talk about unprotected sex to people that have been exposed to these endemic areas. And we also talk about pregnancy due to the risk of fetal malformation. Under treatment and management, there is no specific cure or antiviral treatment for Zika virus. There is no specific cure or antiviral treatment for Zika virus. Management is supportive. So under management, they tell you to rest, take a lot of sleep, you take paracetamol for the fever, for the pain, and avoid mosquito bites, use mosquito nets. So mostly what they do now are preventive measures. Under prevention, use mosquito repellents, use mosquito nets, protective clothing, use of condoms when you know that someone has been exposed to it, or abstain if possible during the time of exposure. Now, eliminate stagnant waters too, so that you don't promote Aedes mosquito breeding around your environment for prevention. Under prognosis, we talk about the serious complications that are rare but are valid. About the issues it brings in pregnant women, the risk of microcephaly, that's relatively small head in children, and other birth defects that is linked to Zika virus. That prognosis known is rare but quite possible to note is the fact that adults that have contracted Zika virus tend to notice some form of weakness to their lymph and to their nerves. Sometimes it is temporary nerve weakness, while other times it turns out to be full-blown paralysis. It's important that you look out for these notes and try to prevent the bites of Aedes mosquitoes. Keep your surroundings clean, use protective clothes and nets and mosquito repellents to not promote the Zika virus around your vicinity or your neighborhood. This would promote good health, less transmission, to people around you, and then a healthy lifestyle for everyone. Thank you so much for listening. I remain Fami Berry. See you in the next video.